I am Courtney. I am a cohort 2 student, which means that I started in 2020 and I'm in the second year of my PhD. I actually got accepted onto the CDT Valentine's Day 2 years ago, so pretty much the anniversary now. I'm based at the University of Nottingham, but I'm actually on a research placement at the moment, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. So what do I do? I'm based in the School of Chemistry and I'm working on hydrogen generation, so sustainable hydrogen evolution catalysts. So that's just a couple of pictures of the building that I'm mainly based in, but I'm not actually in Nottingham at the moment. I'm on a bit of a placement and then coming back. Typical day for me is to go into the lab, wherever that may be. So I've got two pictures there. I've got the GSK CNL, which is where I'm based, and the hydrogen CDT is based in the RAD at Nottingham. So I'm in both of those. I do a bit of synthesis. It's not always as colourful as that, but nice picture. I do a bit of electrochemistry. I do a lot of meetings and webinars because our CDT is based across 4 different universities. A lot of our meetings are still virtual, which means that we get to chat to everybody, and a lot of reading. What I'm really here to talk to you about is CDT community and events, because what makes the CDT different isn't the projects, it isn't the research, it's the people. So we have a journal club at Nottingham, and it's in person and virtual, where we have a look at some of the recent papers in the hydrogen fields and we talk about it. We also talk a bit about our own research so that we can see what everyone's doing. We have monthly EDI discussions, so we meet once a month and talk about anything and everything to do with EDI. So if people are having problems, if people have ideas for events, lots of different things. We also have quarterly management board meetings, and there's student reps at those. So there is a cohort rep, so somebody from one of the 3, soon to be 4 cohorts, and somebody to represent EDI as well. So I've done that twice and it was a really good opportunity. We also have a bi-weekly coffee chat, so Candival runs that. So every 2 weeks you can come along and you can speak to everybody in the CDT, speak to Candival. If you have any issues, then it's a good place to talk about it. We also have the buddy scheme, so that was introduced by one of the other students, where if you're a new student, you can be assigned a mentor from somebody in a higher year, and they basically just help you with fitting in and trying to like sort out what's going on, which was really useful for me because when I started, I didn't really know where I fitted, and being able to chat to somebody who had been through it before me and had been through the modules could give me some advice was great. Since I've started, we've done a lot of events. So at the start, because of COVID, a lot of those were virtual. So we had stakeholder events, which were virtual. We had our induction week. We also had an event for International Women's Day. We had Christmas quiz, and we had like a power trader workshop where we all got to work together on this project where it's like a day-long workshop where, you know, we were applying skills that we didn't know that we had and finding out about how the power network actually works on a bigger scale rather than just focusing on a little portion of it for our research. And from October, we actually got to meet each other in person. So we had a picnic in Nottingham. Since then, we've been able to have a lot more in-person events as well. So we had a stakeholder event in Loughborough. We've had a visit to Ulster. We've had some virtual events as well, but we're also planning to have another in-person event this year. I think it's April. So that should be really good. My advice, the interview, I get asked a lot of questions about, you know, what should people do for their interview? And honestly, the best response is be honest. The interview is for the CDT to find out about you, but it's also for you to find out about the CDT. There's no point in joining something for 4 years which you don't want to be a part of. So enjoy the interview, use it to find out whether you're going to be happy here. Ask questions and relax because both of you have the same goal. The CDT wants to find someone who's going to do well, and you want to find a PhD that you're going to do well in. Before you start, so I was a little bit overwhelmed with all of those application procedures, and I really didn't need to be, because every time you have to do something, you get an email with instructions of click this link, fill this in, and it's actually a lot more straightforward than you think. So don't be panicking about that, and if you're stuck, do ask questions. If something isn't working the way it's meant to be, or if you just don't know what you're going to do, feel free to email. Don't be stressing about it. And you can email as current students as well. Most of us are going to be able to answer and say, yeah, same thing happened to us. It's fine. First year, your PhD, it's a lot of top modules, which, to be honest, I find really interesting because I would never have had a look at the economics of hydrogen unless I had to do the module. And it was one of the core modules. I wouldn't have picked it because it's not something I thought I would have enjoyed. And it turns out that actually I really did. Means whenever I go to a conference and I present my research and they say, okay, so why, why does this make financial sense? I actually have an idea. So it was really useful. And we did modules on energy, tech, and society. So you're looking at your research in context, which I found really, really useful because when you do a PhD, you start, especially in chemistry, you start to drill down on this is the molecule, this is what I want to do, and you kind of forget about everything else. So I found that the modules were really good because I got to talk to everybody and find out more about their research and more about their background, so that if I have a problem, I can go, I know that person's really good in economics. I can go check what they're doing. Or I have an idea now myself, which is really useful. And I think that's all I have.